on YouTube? It's your boy Greg back again with another video. If you're new to this channel, we talk about fragrance related topics. So if there's something that you're interested in, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every single time I upload. Alright, so today's video is going to be a video that was requested by a subscriber, okay? And that's something that I normally try to do. If you guys go in the comment section and you ask me a question and make a recommendation or my opinion on something, I will try to make a video on that. So definitely go ahead and get in that comment section and just let me know. Give me ideas of videos that you guys want to see. So the subscriber asked if I had any recommendations on fragrances for teenagers. They explained that they had a son and they wore Sauvage and they ran out of it, and their son wanted a new bottle of cologne. Alright, so honestly with this video, this lineup was a bit complicated because when you hear teenager, you can be 13 all the way up into 19. So it's kind of like, I need to find something that's going to fit, that whole range of ages, 13 to 19, you know what I'm saying? And also, I was trying to think as a frag head. I wasn't trying to think like, oh, I can go get something like Curve or something like Dolce & Gabbana Light Blues, this, the simple stuff. And in my head, I'm like, no, I don't want to give a teenager, although yeah, they're young, I don't want to give a teenager something that's just so basic and so generic that it's going to be something that everybody is wearing. I kept everything, moderation. Nothing is too crazy on this list except one. So let's go ahead and dive into this. All right, so the first fragrance we're going to talk about is a fragrance that a lot of people know about. However, I really don't smell a lot of people wearing this, and it's said to be one of the main office scents on the market, and it's none other than Prada L'Homme. Now, this fragrance right here is what I would consider one of the best fragrances when it comes to iris and violet. Man, those two combined in this fragrance smells so good. This is fresh, it's clean, while at the same time having some sweetness and somewhat of a powderiness, but obviously that's going to come from that iris, but it's not like a feminine powderiness or anything like that. It's just in there to keep this fragrance clean and unique. And I feel like this would fit a teenager perfectly fine. I mean, I think it would fit any guy perfectly fine. Why? Because it is fresh and clean enough to wear anytime, any day, but it does have, the powderiness and the sweetness mixed in that allows you to smell unique. You don't smell just fresh and clean out the shower, like a shower gel and that's it. No, it's got some uniqueness to it. It smells great. You're going to get compliments, and it's inoffensive, and it lasts at least 10 to 12 hours on my skin. It could vary depending on who you are, but on my skin, I'm getting beast mode performance, okay? And as far as projection, I would say it projects enough, okay? None of these fragrances on this list is going to project too much as long as you keep the sprays in moderation. And I want to let you guys know before I go any deeper into this list, look, if you're in a classroom, you're a teenager, right? So I assume you're in a classroom. Don't be putting on too many sprays just to get attention. I'm telling you, go easy on the sprays because you're usually in close encounters when it comes to being in class, whether it's junior high school, or even college. So go easy on the trigger. You know what I'm saying? Like, just smell good. Don't be, pushing so much that you're offending people around you, because that's a bad look, okay? So again, from the house of Prada L'Homme. Next fragrance we're going to talk about is a fragrance that I feel is a fragrance that really just, it fits anytime, any day. One of the most ultimate signature scent worthy type of fragrances in my opinion. And it's none other than YSL Y. So this right here is the original fragrance from the Y line, okay? And a lot of people, they like this one and then they dislike it as far as reviewing is going. However, when I wore this, man, and I'm telling you, I've had this since it was released, and I think this was released at least 3 years ago. Every single time I've wore this, I've gotten compliments. Like, legit, every single time I went out to eat, I went to the library, I went to work, I went everywhere with this fragrance and I've gotten compliments. So as a teenager, I know that's something that a teenager is going to want. They're going to want compliments, they're going to want to smell good, and this fragrance right here is going to do just that. It's going to get you compliments. But let me tell you why I feel like this is good for a teenager. For one, it's easy to wear, very easy to wear. It's clean, it's fresh, it does have citruses, but but it also has, you know, some spices. It has some geranium in there, which is giving it kind of like an edge to it. It's not just basic and flat. It's just a nice, fresh, crisp, clean fragrance. It's one of those fragrances that's super refreshing, you know, without being super basic, without somebody saying like, oh, I smelled that, or everybody smells like that. Like, it doesn't do that. However, it's still easy to wear. Another thing about this fragrance is the performance. On my skin, I get great performance. I mean, absolutely beast mode performance. Like, this fragrance is one fragrance that I would definitely say, please go easy on the trigger. Do not spray too much with this one. Like, please don't, because it will become offensive to people around you. But if you go maybe 3 sprays, maybe 4, you're good to go. So again, from the house of YSL, YSLY. All right, so the next fragrance we're gonna talk about is a fragrance that is absolutely one of my favorite fragrances in my entire collection. It's a fragrance that I picked up on site. Like, I really, really loved and still love this fragrance, and it's none other than Prada L'Homme Rossa Black. Now, the reason why I put this fragrance on this list is because remember when I said in the beginning, I didn't want a teenager to smell just super basic, super flat. No, I want them to smell good and unique. This fragrance right here is not gonna be worn by many teenagers. I don't think. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. I haven't even smelled many people that wear this at all. This fragrance right here is a fragrance that's really going to give a teenager like that ultimate compliment. You know what I'm saying? Like, this right here is going to be like, it's going to be turning everybody's heads. Why? Because yes, it does have a slight freshness to it, but it does have that darkness as well. But it's not so dark to where it's like a fragrance that can only be worn when it's cold outside or when you're dressed up for special occasions. No, it's a fragrance that can be signature scent worthy, and it's a fragrance that's going to get you compliments, and it's a fragrance that lasts pretty long on the skin. And it smells so unique, in my opinion. I really haven't smelled any fragrances that smell like this, except for obviously other fragrances within this line. But as far as that, I haven't smelled anything that smells like this. And normally when you get a unique fragrance, it is a bit challenging, but this one right here is not challenging. Yes, it does have a dark side to it, but it does have that bergamot within it that gives it, you know, that freshness that makes it very, very easy to wear. And then as it starts to dry down, obviously you get, you know, the tonka, you get the amber, which is giving it, you know, somewhat of depth, giving it a little bit of darkness, which gives this fragrance such a nice, well-rounded scent. And it's affordable, easy to find. So again, from the house of Prada, Prada L'Homme Rossa Black. So the last 3 fragrances we're going to talk about are fragrances that are a little bit more on the expensive side. These are what we consider to be niche fragrances. That's all they do is make fragrances. So they're going to be a little bit more on the expensive side, but they're not challenging or anything like that. They're still suitable for a teenager. So with that being said, the next fragrance we're going to talk about is from the house of Mancera, and it's Cedrat Boise. This will fit a teenager as long as he's a bit on the mature side. So this is going to be a little bit more for the older teenagers, maybe like 17, 18, 19 years old, you know, because this one right here does have that smokiness. It does have fruitiness. It does come off a little bit fresh, but it's just a little bit more on the smoky and fruitier side. And I don't know if you know, 13 or 14-year-old would appreciate a fragrance like this, but they might. And it does get a lot of compliments. This is another fragrance that gets a ton of compliments. So obviously, you know, being a teenage boy, I know you want to have compliments. So this fragrance right here is going to do just that for you. And the performance is good. So you in class for 7-8 hours, it's still going to be rocking on your skin. Just be easy on the trigger. Remember, be easy on the trigger, fellas. Please just be easy on the trigger. I know how easy it is as a teenager to go heavy on that trigger. Do not do it, especially with this, man. And as far as the parents, you know, all you have to do is just go online and order this. You can also order samples. You know, maybe you want your child to smell it before, because with it being a niche fragrance, you're really not going to find it that easy in stores. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and leave the links down below so you can go to the website to get the best price and, you know, pick it up. Let me know what you think about it. Definitely recommend this for a teenager, but like I said, maybe 17, 18, 19 years old, maybe 15, 16, I don't know. But to me, if I was a teenager, I would definitely love to have this in my collection. So again, from the house of Mancera, Cedrat Boise. Next fragrance we're going to talk about is from the house of Maison Francis Kirk John, and it's Amyris Homme. Now, this fragrance right here is probably one of the more unique fragrances. I would definitely say that this would definitely suit a teenager very well. Why? Because in my opinion, this is a very unique fragrance, but it's so mellow, it's so calm and relaxed. And you want teenage boys to be calm and relaxed. You don't want them just bouncing off the walls all over the place doing things they ain't supposed to be doing, right? And this fragrance right here, you know, believe it or not, you put it on, it can kind of just calm the nerves, you know what I'm saying? Now, this does have some freshness going on, but it's not an overpowering fresh type of fragrance. It's really nothing like that. This right here has a balsamic resonance sweetness thing going on mixed with that freshness, which makes this fragrance so appealing to the nose. This would actually make your teenager come off as a more mature young man. That's what this smells like, in my opinion. Just like a mature young man, or just a mature man in general. It just depends on who's wearing it, you know. And it does have iris in it as well, so it does give it somewhat of a powderiness, but it's not baby powder, it's not a feminine type of powder, anything like that. It just gives it that smoothness, you know what I'm saying? It just smells so good, so smooth, but at the same time being fresh. And it does have some sweetness, like I said, from that balsamic resonance. And it does have the note of coffee and milk chocolate, which just gives this fragrance a little bit more uniqueness. But don't let that fool you. It's not a gourmand fragrance at all. It's just kind of like they just trickled a little bit of chocolate, trickled a little bit of coffee, and then it's just blasting, you know, with the iris and the balsamic resonance and the freshness. It just kind of surrounding everything, and it's just putting it all together, and you get Amyris Homme. So last but not least, we're gonna talk about a fragrance from the House of Parfums de Marly, and it's none other than Greenley. The reason why I chose this is because it's super clean, crispy, and fresh. Just one of those fragrances that's just super refreshing when you smell it. So I know with a teenager wearing this, when they first smell it, they're probably going to like it right off the rip, and people around them are going to enjoy it because it has like a green apple note in there, okay? And it also has an amber note as well. Imagine a cold, crispy green apple. Just imagine that. Then as it starts to dry down, it maintains that same crispy green apple, but then it starts to warm up a little bit, starts to get a little bit more on the sweeter side of things. And I'm telling you, you're left with Greenley. But in my opinion, I feel like Greenley is a bit unique. You know, the green apple note is a note that I normally don't like, but I love it in this fragrance. And if I was a teenage guy, I would love to have this in my collection, especially the bottle. Just look at the bottle. Even the bottle is just so nice. You know, it's worthy of being in anybody's collection. I feel like if you showed up to the crib and you showed this to your son, you're gonna be pretty happy. And the scent, he's gonna like it, you know. Most boys are gonna like this scent right here. Now, as far as compliments, you're gonna get compliments because it's a mass-pleasing type of fragrance. It's fresh, it's clean, it's crisp, and it's just one of those refreshing fragrances, like I said earlier. The performance is not, you know, overpowering. You're going to get a good 8 hours on your skin, but as far as projection, it's not gonna push too much, which is good. Like I said, you're in close encounters, so you don't want to be pushing too much, okay? So again, from the House of Parfums de Marly, Greenley. All right, so that's gonna wrap up this video. I hope I didn't keep you guys too long. I felt like I was kind of stretching it. I apologize, but hey, look, those are a few fragrances that I feel would be good for a teenager. What I want you guys to do, you know, we're all a community, okay? So whenever you see questions like that in my comment section, or you see me make videos like this, make sure you go down in the comment section and put your recommendation. You know, put 1 or 2 fragrances that, you know, could help the person out that's asking me to make this video. We all here together. We all here to help each other, okay? So if you like the video, go ahead and give your boy a thumbs up, and that's it. Take care. Peace.